online. We had one last night where there were, I think, 6 of us physically in the building and 4 at the convention. And despite some technical difficulties, I thought it was a really great meeting.
Okay. Well, we're going to be joined today by a group from somewhere as well, or I thought that was the focus of this meeting.
This one is the name that some people get all bent out of shape when we call them hybrid clubs. Ooh, that's a bad word in some people's minds. But it sure is easier to say than, let's see, what is it? Online presence in a regular club or some such nonsensical thing. Hybrid makes a lot more sense to me. Okay. Erin says it's not about a bad word. I want to just ask.
In answer to your question, David, it would appear that about half the people here are at disparate locations, and about actually probably we've got 4 or so at this stage coming from convention. So they'll be in the same physical location, whereas the rest of us will be dialing in.
Okay, but they're not in the same room watching us on a big screen or something.
Yes. Okay. So you know that when you speak in speaker view, you are on the big screen. And if you want not to speak, you mute yourself.
Yes, Florence, did you say you had a question?
Yes, I do. I wanted to ask, is it that which word is acceptable? Clubs with online presence or hybrid clubs?
Who will decide what is acceptable anyway?
Florence, you just break the ice for everything.
Okay. If I may, the official term is Toastmasters clubs that allow online presence. But, and there are some members who find the term hybrid club to be, I don't know, demeaning or something, but I will tell you that the district trio in my home district, 69, use the word hybrid because it is much simpler than anything else. So officially it is Toastmasters clubs that allow online presence, but hybrid is the word that most of us use.
Not really, though, based on my research.
No?
But no, based on the research, hybrid is a very good term to actually communicate with others. It's fine. I mean, at least 40% of the online community have been using it. There are other words and terms has been used. So basically, for convenience sake, it's fine. But if Mark is here, the other Mark is here, you're going to kill me.
Yes. So, your camera's not on, by the way, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm having supper. So unless you want to see me eating supper right now. But technically speaking, I'm fine with you guys using hybrid to talk about it. But if you're using the word, please use official. I'm actually fine, but the thing is that, I mean, like, within conversation, is like, how many words can you speak with Toastmaster clubs that allows online attendance? Technically speaking, that's like 5 words. I feel tired of it. But typing, once you get used to typing that words, like, it's fine. But when you talk about it, it's very tiring.
Okay, it is very nice to see you on the ground for the moment.
For the ground.
And not high somewhere.
I'm usually the shine type.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I am the greeter, it seems, but I think we should begin very shortly. Suzanne?
Do you have
There's a radio. I'm sorry, there's a radio in the background somewhere.
Could you all mute?
Go here.
Close to Brian. Just a moment.
Those who don't have to speak yet. Perhaps Brian could try to
Right,
open?
and it's,
Or Susan, you
don't
could.
go, if you go outside, don't go too far because it dropped my connection.
Okay.
Oh, he's going back there.
Who is your first speaker, Brian?
Naomi, but oops. Naomi is my first speaker, but I haven't seen her yet. And then my second speaker is here, and I don't know Heather. I don't know where she is. or
Heather is
anything about-
here. Heather is here.
I'm right here. Hi.
Perhaps she can begin. And Mark Worsey is also ready to speak if you want, if you need.
Well,
Not here.
yeah, after the three speeches, I would, rather interview people here, like a table topics.
That's great.
In fact, I could appoint Marty as a table topics master.
Manhal is here also. I cannot hear you, Manhal, at all. Now you closed the sound. I can hear you even less. I like your out.
I actually have a past RA that's supposed to come up and visit with me. She was talking to George Marshall, and she said she wanted to join, so I told her to come up with me.
Okay, I can hear you at least now.
So Julie, how many of us here are in the convention room on their laptops or pads? And
You asking me how many?
yeah.
I think Marty is at the convention. Manhal is at the convention. And
Yeah.
perhaps Heather and you?
Or Heather's at the convention?
I don't know.
No.
Is Aaron at the
No.
convention also?
No, Heather isn't. It looks to me like it's Kayleen, Marty, you, and Manhal are at the convention.
Yep, that would be the right amount of people.
I'll be right back in a minute here.
Perhaps while Brian is getting set up, we should do a general round of introductions so that everybody knows where we are from. My name's Graham. I'm in Brisbane, Australia, and I'm a Toastaholic.
No, I don't have the equipment to do it right now. Oh, okay. But thank you for asking.
What I will do is
My name is Julie. I am from London. And I am in 3
But thank you.
remote access clubs.
Okay, I'm Mark Worthy. I am in Querétaro, Mexico, approximately 130 miles north of Mexico City. I'm a fully online member with 4 clubs, and I'm having a wonderful time.
better hold this.
David?
I'm David Carr. I started the Online Presenters Club, which specifically focuses on learning skills for better webinars and such things. And I also do the WordPress for Toastmasters project.
Yes. I'm Susan Ellsworth, and I'm a member of Great White North Online and also a member of Firebirds Collective. And I am just pleased to pass the hat or pass the introduction to my friend, my good friend, Paul White. Paul, please give us a little bit of background about yourself that they don't know.
Thank you, Susan. Yes, my name is Paul White. I'm in Northern Virginia, Annandale, which is about 10 miles outside of Washington, D.C. I was the host district chair for the convention last year, and I'm very much missing not being at the convention in Vancouver. But I recently had brain surgery, and even more recently, just several days ago, I lost my wife of 51 years. So I'm not traveling, but I am happy that we have these virtual clubs, thanks to Susan and Julie and many others whom I don't know, because it enables me to connect with Toastmasters even though I'm kind of homebound.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Magic and Dream, please introduce yourself. Yes. Come on. Tell us who you are.
We can hear you, Kelly.
I'm Christine Ledger, and I'm from Goulburn in New South Wales, Australia, and my Toastmaster clubs are in Canberra, Australia, which is actually the capital of Australia, not Sydney or Melbourne. Canberra is, and I'm here at the convention for my 7th time. Looking forward to another meeting.
Wonderful. Jenny?
Me? I'm Jenny. I'm from Taupo, and I'm a Firebird, and I'm not involved in this meeting, so I'm just sort of coming to watch because I just love being at online meetings.
Marty?
Oh,
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Great. I'm here at the Toastmaster International Convention, and I'm a member of Firebirds as well as a past district governor from District 54, Central Illinois. And the reason that I'm involved in the online clubs is because it gives our clubs an opportunity to invite people to join Toastmasters who might not otherwise be able to. Thank you.
Who didn't speak yet? Yes. Florence, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Florence Olumodunu. My maiden name is Atwa. I belong to 2 Toastmasters clubs in Lagos, Nigeria. The first is Eagle Toastmasters Club, which is the first Toastmasters club ever in Nigeria. And then I just recently started a new club called Aulo Toastmasters Club. I also have been involved in the first online sort of, I wouldn't say it's a club per se, but the Eagle Toastmasters Club. In the last 12 months, we were holding an online extra meeting once a month as an online platform to give access to more people that are interested in Toastmasters. So that's my involvement with online. And
thank you.
Through that, I think Mark Worthy, ETM, and through my activities online, I also met Aaron. So I'm getting one more.
Thank you very much. Adrienne?
Yeah,
Hello, my name is Adrienne Williams. I'm in Miami, Florida. I am the president of the Fountain of Moonlight Toastmaster Club in Miami, and I'm also a member of Online Presenters Club.
Thank you. Aaron?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Aaron. I'm from Hong Kong. Basically, I'm immediate past president of Victoria Toastmasters, a regular club, SA of Competitive Communicators, an online club, chartering a club that has club online attendance for disabled and elderly children, elderly folks, as well as the chairperson for a project called Project Infinity that focus specifically for clubs online attendance.
Thank you. Manhal?
I delegated these meetings. Most people don't realize.
Are you ready to begin?
Manhal Shukhair. I am from Dallas, Texas. Currently the District 50 District Director. Been working with online clubs from the beginning. And even though I'm not a member anymore, I'm too busy doing District Director crap. Anyway, it's great to be here. And for David Carr, Carol Bransky was her name on the messages I sent you. Anyway, have a great meeting. I'm watching.
Do you have your...
Carol.
Hi.
And Carol, just for you, as an online club stuff, here is your own copy of the Online Connections pin.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. Pleasure to be here.
Hey, Carol.
Adam? Did you?
Yes, hello. I want to see if I can unhide my video here. Oh, yeah, here we go. My name is Adam Bachler. I'm a member of Prairieland Toastmasters here in Central Illinois, and I'm actually in a Toastmasters group with Miss Marty, who's also called.
Wonderful. We could see you better if you don't have window behind you. Brian, take it off now. Are you ready?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
Julie? Okay.
Yes.
Well, we got.
Can you
I
begin?
thought we were going to start at 10 after, and then, but I can start the meeting now.
Yes. I think it is time to start the meeting. Your first speaker is here, or second speaker.
Yes, yes. And the third speaker. So we'll start the meeting now. And here we're coming from the convention center. You see very many views of it. That's people coming down the stairs out of the convention, going on different places for their lunchtime. There's a little cafe over here where Marty's sitting. Might be able to see her there, the blue. And one of the things about hybrid clubs is the difficulty in which we run into here is the difficulty in the mic. We need some new technology in order to solve the problem of a mic in a room where there's a group of people, so we don't get the feedback that's coming. If any of you Toastmasters out there or engineer software types, let me know. We'll come up with something especially for Toastmasters. And if we will donate some of the profit toward the Rouse Medley Fund. And they have a little booth up here where you can donate any amount of money you want to the Rouse Medley Fund. And that's something that I believe in strongly that this organization needs. And as far as I know, Rouse Medley Fund is actually funding Pathway, which I'm in a hybrid club. I live in Victoria, British Columbia, which is just across the way on Vancouver Island from Vancouver. And my club is in Washington, D.C. And a few of my fellow members are on this meeting. Something that happened to me last night after I left the convention and we went home where my daughter is and staying there. And we attended an online live feed of a funeral in Australia. It was a relative of hers, distant cousins. And it was so moving that we felt that we could have just been in the room where the funeral was taking place. So the online capability that we have in the world today is just phenomenal. And in Toastmasters, my belief is that we'll eclipse the number of members that use online as to the other people. Now, our first speaker is Kane Lee, because Naomi isn't here yet, but we'll start with Kaylee, and she'll speak for 2 or 3 minutes. And you're not in an online club at the moment. So this is something we're going to get the viewpoint of somebody who wants to get in an online club. So I will pass the mic back to her, and I'll turn the video off. So this is the mic.
Thank you, Brian. So no, I'm not in an online club. I am in 2 regular clubs, and I'm also in what you're terming as hybrid. I've been calling partial virtual Toastmaster Club, and that's DHS Virtual Canberra Toastmasters Club. And that club was originally going to be a normal regular Toastmasters club. However, the office that we were starting it in at work had low target audience for us. The majority of people there were senior executive, and while we would like senior executive to get involved in Toastmasters, they're just not going to, they're too busy. So we needed to find a way to open the target audience up to a larger group of people. So we decided to go virtual, or partial virtual, where we would have people in the main office that we were starting with, but we'd bring in another office that was within 30 minutes. And through doing that, we were able to charter the club within 3 months, and it had been trying for about 18 months before that. For us, we need to use video conferencing at work, and it's the thing everybody hates, and they struggle with using the technology, but also how to operate in the meeting. So we have introduced at both sites, we have 2 sites, and at both sites we have a video conference operator on our agenda, and people can nominate for that role so that they can learn how to use the video conferencing facility. We're lucky because it is a government organisation, so we just have a free phone number that we can ring when we get into trouble with the technology, and they can manually fix things and connect the audio and set up the views on the TV screens for us if we're having trouble. One of the interesting things that I found with the club is getting used to speaking on the TV screen. Oh, thank you. I've seen the light. It's beautiful. For speaking on the TV screen, because we have different layouts at work, and we have some where the camera is in front of us, so we can sit at one end of the table or stand at one end of the table and then talk to the other end. But we also have others where we can be talking forward, but the TV's behind us. So automatically we want to turn our head and look at the TV, the people in the other room. But as soon as we do that, we have our head back to them, the back of our head to them, and the back of the head to other people. So I'm thoroughly enjoying being part of a partial virtual club because it's a new learning experience for me, and so are our members. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaylee. And it's nice to hear that we're a world organization and it's well represented here. I've met people from all over the world here, chatting with somebody from Sri Lanka just a little bit earlier. And I see that there's a lot of people accumulating around Marty's location over there. But we'll hear from Heather now. I'm afraid I don't have the background of Heather. I didn't receive it or didn't find it.
That's okay. Heather. My apologies. My name is Heather Turner. I am a DTM from District 53. I am currently the Division E director, and I was the Division F director last year. And online clubs are of great interest to me. I belong to 2 brick and mortar clubs, and one of my clubs has been experimenting for about a year with online attendance. We're fine-tuning it, to put it lightly. And I have actually, in terms of audio, I just bought this. And we played around with this at our last meeting. It was about $35 from Amazon. It's a Samsung audio mic. And so far, it worked fantastic in a group of about 25 people. And it was about a 15 by 15 room dimension. So far, it's the best pickup for audio that we found with very little feedback. So I would suggest maybe looking into that. I am psyched that we found that. When we first started doing online attendance in my brick and mortar club, the first time we tried it was an absolute disaster. You know, we actually brought every single backup device that we can find. There were 4 projectors in the room, 2 screens, a whole bunch of microphones, speakers. We had Zoom, we had GoToWebinar, we had Skype going, we had Facebook going. And for whatever reason, even with using hotspots, even with using the Wi-Fi that we had for free at the town hall where we meet, we could not coordinate it. But since then, it has actually been a lot more fine-tuned. We found people dialing in individually on Skype has worked the best. Zoom, we found, has been a little distracting. We like the format, but we're only using the free version, and our meetings are about an hour and a half, so people can't attend the whole thing. We've used I have a subscription to GoToWebinar because I do webinars a couple of times a week, and we found that has been the easiest. What we do is actually bring a projector and then just blow it up against one of the walls so people can log in and then see the video with the audio from my computer with the external speakers, and that's worked really well so far. I'm really excited about this because we're having more people inquiring about it. My Cromwell meeting that I drive an hour and a half to get to go to now because we moved from there and I still attend, is a really dynamic club, but we have people visiting from all over. And, you know, we want to find a way so that, especially in the winter, because in Connecticut the winters can be a little iffy, people can attend so we don't have to cancel the meetings themselves. So I'm really excited about this whole online experience. I've attended a bunch of online meetings as a visitor, and I'm thinking about joining one of the hybrid clubs so far. I want to attend a couple more meetings, mostly because I want to check out Pathways. We don't have it yet.
Really?
I guess that's it. Unless anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to go through all the things that we've run into not to do so far and bring virtual attendance for hybrid clubs.
Well, thank you, Heather. However, in the 20-minute Toastmaster meeting, we're very short of time, but you're more than welcome to attend any one of the online or hybrid clubs and share your point of view. Now, I failed to introduce the timer. Now, Larry is the timer for. Larry is the president of First Canadian Toastmasters, and our saying is, we are the club that made Toastmasters truly international, and that was because we were the first international club in all of Toastmasters. Larry, just for a brief moment, have you got audio there? Can you?
Yes. I'm the president of First Canadian Toastmasters. We're club number 38. We were formed in 1935, and it's a great little club. We've got about 20 members, and we are, I guess, what you call a hybrid club or a club that allows online participation, if you will. And it's all new. We're excited about it. I'm very thrilled to see people from all over the world in one of these things. This is fantastic. I had no idea it was so engaging. So with that, I will turn it back to our Toastmaster.
Thank you, Larry. Well, our third speaker didn't show up, so we will hear from Mark Worthy, who is in an area of the world that the internet is a challenging experience for. But Mark, tell us your experience of the online community. I know you've been in it for a long time because I've been there with you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. And I say so because you are president of Great Communicators, and I happen to be a member of that club. First, what's extremely important for me is that I never expected Toastmasters to lead to a profession. There's personal growth, there's academic growth, and there is professional growth. Yes, being in Mexico, I work in both the academic and business environment. But on a personal level, similar to what Jenny said earlier about visiting a club, I visited EZ, the EZ Club, also in suburban Washington, D.C. I was going to sit back and watch and see what happened. And I noticed on the agenda that there was only one speaker. So we're all risk takers and we know how to improvise. I interjected and offered to give a speech. And fortunately, as we all know, having that speech in the back pocket is so important. Taking that risk helps me grow. It also gives me insight from which I can draw upon because hybrid, that's what I'm doing academically at the university. I work with students and they communicate with people in different parts of the world. I have a client base, multinational corporations, and they too are doing what we're doing right now. And they're doing it in a second language that's not theirs. So I see this nice marriage between what I do professionally and what I do personally is extremely stimulating, and that's why I enjoy being a Let me tell you, it is now.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, normally the connection.
Continue evolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You cut out there for a little while, but one thing about Zoom is that in Zoom, it comes back into the meeting and it will drop the voice for a while, but pick up where you left off. I don't know how they're doing that technology, but it's a fantastic feature. Other platforms that I've used don't do that. If you lose the connection, you lose the connection. So we haven't got anybody on the ground, except Marty is talking to some people over there. But let's ask somebody that's online what their experience is. Now I haven't heard from Jim. I think I've been in one meeting with him. So Jim, what do you feel about the experience of online Toastmasters? I know you've been in Toastmasters for a while. What's your opinion?
You're talking about the online, full online or hybrid? I've been participating in both the fully online. I'm a member of Online Presenters, but I also participate in a few hybrid clubs. And it's real convenient because there are people that travel for their business and they can't make their regular meeting all the time. And so they can participate in the club meetings while they're traveling on business. Or if they can't make the meeting because they're at home with their kids sick or their wife kids sick or husband sick. Or in the wintertime with bad travel conditions. I've also participated in several district committee meetings that meet online. And that's where I see it can be a great advantage for people to learn too. District 11 has what they call membership team meetings, which are created by division. And those meetings are held by WebEx or live video feed like this. And they meet once a month and they include speeches, educational speeches on recruitment, membership retainment. So from my viewpoint, there's a lot of benefits to learning how to present and speak online, which could be used within the districts and in between clubs. Clubs could have a joint meeting together with each other with an online video using Zoom, where they don't have to travel. You could be two clubs across the district that are too far apart, but they could have a joint meeting. Absolutely. And they can meet each other, which is great networking, especially if they have a common theme or interest in their two different clubs, like two advanced clubs with the same theme, but they're way too far apart to network with each other.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
In case you saw me there, we were just visited by the president of Witty Storytellers,
Great.
Which is an online club that was the first ever specialty online club that chartered last September. Just ahead of Great White North, by the way. They were neck and neck on who was going to get that 20th member to charter. But,
it truly beat me to it.
But we'll call both clubs twins because, they were born in the same month. How's that? And who's going to care in 100 years? And I was hoping that they could get Michelle Clark, but however, we will have to go to the online audience. And since Paul is in the district that I am in, go ahead. So, since Paul is in the district and he's in Pathways, and I'm a president of the club, remote president of a club that is in District 27, called the Great Communicators from Alexander, Virginia. And I don't know how that's a hop and skip, I think, outside of Washington. But Paul, Give us your opinion. I know you've been in Toastmasters for many years, and I've seen you online. How do you really feel about this online movement? Is it going to take off, or will it fade away?
Well, I agree with what someone said. I think eventually, if we continue doing what we're doing, that the number of members in online encounters might exceed the number of people in bricks and mortar. That might sound unrealistic right now, but this is really a wave of the future that it's just so rich and so stimulating to be able to talk to people around the world. I think, as Susan knows, we have experimented with this for many years. I was an area governor once in a club maybe 7 or 8 years ago where they had a corporate office in Fairfax and a corporate office in Baltimore. They had 2 Toastmasters clubs. They were both struggling, and we just took them up because corporate, they already had the facility for doing that. And we had to swear to silence because we thought that the police would come and shut us down. So we've been doing that for a while. And there are so many other things. I chartered a club a couple of years ago for authors because almost every Toastmaster has a book inside of it. So we wanted to encourage people who had already written books who are Toastmasters to encourage people who hadn't yet written their book. And that club is doing okay, but it's really low membership. And I'm trying to get them to consider becoming an online club and working with other areas to recruit potential authors. So there's all kind of opportunities. I just think it's the wave of the future.
Thank you, Paul. At this point in time, I would like to mention one other club that I've been involved in, and we started as an online club in a castle. But we still meet in the Royal Road University. And that's where we experienced all the different problems you can have in the combination of the meetings. We have the greatest equipment. It's a learning curve on how to use that equipment. Sometimes it works great, other times it doesn't. When you're in those situations, get a hold of what they call the AV department, audiovisual department, and ask them to teach you about the equipment that you're using. And you can go out to the online community. Carol McCullough from Australia, she's really there helping all of us with the technology because she's been using it in her business for many years. And at this point, we'll end the hybrid meeting, and we're not getting reports back from Larry, our timer, but thank you for the timing, Larry. I managed to pin you to the laptop so that the speaker here could see what the time is. That's another little problem we need to resolve as hybrid clubs. There's no reason. Toastmasters has a great mind of a lot of people that are in online clubs. Ask the question, we will solve it. Thank you, Susan.
I have a question that I would like to pose to everyone, and it's like this. I would like to hear suggestions from the members of this group as to how we overcome the fear, the anxiety, and all of the rest of that in the community that kind of looks at us like ick. How do we overcome that response? And I'm going to buttonhole you, Jim Dent, with it.
Oh, I'm already off mute. Thank you. I think there's several factors. I think there's one factor is people can have a fear of being on video or having their picture taken, or in some cases having their picture broadcasted publicly. People don't want to see them speaking. The other factor is they're just not comfortable with the technology themselves, so they have a fear from that aspect. That that
No,
I don't know how to do this, or I'm afraid I won't do it correctly, and it's a fear of failure relative to video discussions. The last point I see might be is what gives us a bad perspective is there's a lot of poor videos of people giving speeches out on YouTube. Very poor quality, shaky video pictures. And that may give the perception to a lot of people of what an online club video meeting looks like. We need to somehow address all those and demonstrate the quality that can be achieved with online meetings and online videos.
I'd like to ask for another perspective. Graham, your perspective.
I'd say that Jim is correct, but these are all issues that we have to deal with as Toastmasters in terms of our training as Toastmasters. A lot of people are uncomfortable with speaking. A lot of people are uncomfortable with standing out front. We say to people, yes, we understand that there is nervousness about that, but this is a skill that you really need to learn to improve your prospects for work, that you really need to learn so that you can give a great presentation in your social life. We teach people as Toastmasters, yes, it's okay to be nervous. This is how to deal with it. Yes, it is okay to be uncomfortable. This is how you deal with it. We as online Toastmasters need to do the same thing. It is just another skill set that we all need to learn how to do. And so you mentioned that there's this sort of icky sensation, and there is, but that same sensation applies to people who aren't members of Toastmasters at all about public speaking. We've learned how to overcome that. We've learned how to encourage people to develop their skills. So we should be trying to do the same with these skills. As somebody once said, if we try to do tomorrow's job with yesterday's tools, if we try to do today's job with yesterday's tools, we will be out of business tomorrow. The same applies to Toastmasters. If we don't get on board with technological developments, then we will be left behind.
Julie, looks like you've got an idea. I see that bubble over the top of your head.
Yes.
That thought bubble.
I can even put that on.
All right.
So, I think that we are on cutting edge of technology with online clubs, with clubs that admit online presence, as we are with Pathways. And we are going ahead. I don't think we should worry too much what others say. We try to show them how it is, and once they experienced it, they go for it. I have to tell you that in online clubs, we have Bob, who is the one who fought to take women in Toastmaster, and he did it. And it was not easy. And a second thing I would like to say you, that tomorrow I will organize the Pathway online meeting, and that will be my Pathway project. Because Pathway is practical, looking to the future, and one of the projects is organize an online meeting. So it will come, whether the naysayers think that we are only 1%, we are only 2%, and so on. I had looked at the board of director meeting in Vancouver, and they put up who had how many Pathway awards. And I have to tell you that we onliners are very well on it. Of course, Paul White finished 5 now, ahead of perhaps everyone else, but I couldn't have done it if I couldn't have gone to the remote access clubs in Virginia, Arlington, who welcomed me all. And I think I owe their presidents and VP a lot. And yes, it was not always completely good. They didn't hear me well. I didn't hear them. I didn't see them sometimes well, and so on. But it is improving all the time. We have to do it. Otherwise, we will never finish letting others go on the path.
I have another question that goes like this. As a practical matter, the way that these clubs get recognition is by being, yes, okay, not just among ourselves, but actually get better recognition across the board, is by bringing about change in the governing resource documents. And right now, there are some really unfortunate things that have to do with the online training of either the 100% online clubs or the clubs like we're talking about right now. So, today, tomorrow, we've got people who are running for office. What should we do in regard to bringing about recognition and approval for online training? And I'm going to buttonhole Mathilde with that one.
I think we should set up what we already have done, or some of us have done. Some examples which have already been tested. I have also been on an online training, for example, for club executives. And then we should go with the results of this to the executive board of our club, of our association, and there we should place it. And perhaps we will be happy and have some of the onliners on board, and then the access will also be much easier. But I think you should already may have made trials. You should have a concept which you could show them, and they could say if it pleased them or what they would like to change.
Thank you, Mathilde.
You're welcome.
Now I have a question that I want to present, and it has to do with how might we bring in board members into this experience. And I'm going to ask Florence to talk about that.
They're human and they belong to clubs. So what we can do is identify which of us know certain board members and invite them so that it's sort of on a personal level, and get them to put their feet in the water a little at a time, figuratively speaking. That's my idea.
We have already one past board member and probably 2 future board members now. I hope they will be voting for them, who are online club members.
Who are we talking about, Julie?
I am talking about Victoria and Derek. And I'm
Vicky
talking
Farrar.
about Dennis,
Farrar.
who has been board member, and the first day he has been no more board member, he joined Witty Storytellers. And he tells everyone that even if I have to wake up at 2 o'clock, it is really worth it.
Okay, I'm now going to go to Marty for your thoughts on how we just might grow this larger community of our hybrid clubs. Marty. Hello, Marty.
I'm here. Let's see. Hi there. Hold on just a second. I think I'm about ready to pop in there. Oh, fiddle. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm over just across the way, and my signal must not be strong enough to allow you to see my video. But what I see from a perspective of an administrator of a district is that the broader audience that's available when we offer online attendance, whether it be an online club that has just an online presence, or for clubs that are including online attendance, it can grow the possibilities and sustain many, many clubs. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. Now I'm going to buttonhole a longtime friend who is going to tell us a little bit about what he knows about the history of online clubs. Manhal, please come up.
Okay. All right. What's one thing of the training?
Manhal?
Do that, and then if you couldn't do it the first time, the way we did it is whoever's training it, we had a facilitator feedback to take questions and answers from what worked, what didn't work, because we modified this